What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Masterpiece movie series number 6, Ironhide. So this is the first actual American version of the movie Masterpiece figures that I've gotten, and it's kind of weird that the package is upright. And I know that doesn't really mean anything, but for those of you that display packages, it's going to be a little weird since all the previous ones are going to be like this, and then this one's going to be upright. But I mean, that's nitpicky. It's not really a big deal. Anyway, so this is Ironhide. It's MPM-6. You can see he's a GMC top kick. And yeah, officially licensed. You got the GMC logo up here, probably somewhere else too. On the side, you can see a picture of Ironhide and the vehicle mode. And on the back, posable neck, woo, movable faceplate, articulated hands, die-cast parts, and just shows you all the various, things. Robot mode, vehicle mode. Sorry, I'm really tired. So, and then of course the GMC top kick mode there. And that's all there is to the packaging. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy open, and we're going to check him out right now. Alright, everybody, so here is MPM-6 Ironhide in vehicle mode. And, if you've got the patience for it, it's a very nice vehicle mode overall. You can see that it rolls fairly well, assuming you get all 4 wheels on the ground, which I've managed to accomplish here somehow. So here's the deal with this vehicle mode. The transformation is not necessarily complex or even difficult, but at the same time is a waking nightmare. So he actually does come packaged in robot mode, but for the sake of the review, it's usually better to start them off in vehicle mode because there's just less to talk about typically. But yeah, he does come packaged in robot mode. And the first time that I transformed him into vehicle mode, it came out looking great. Everything fell into place. You can see these little gaps here at the top. There was no gapping on the sides here. This was completely down and pegged in all the way, which, you can kind of get it to do for about half a second. And the thing is, I just don't really know what the secret is that I'm missing. So I don't know if there's some special way, because it really seems to be just as much about luck as it is about skill to get this guy transformed. So that said, it is a nice vehicle mode once you actually get it into vehicle mode. You can see the front is not quite lined up. It's a little bit out of whack here, but I don't want to push it too much because there are a lot of really small tabs and stuff holding everything in place. But I mean, again, the transformation is not difficult, and parts of it are even interesting and enjoyable. But it's just this, like right here, and especially this right here, that is just an absolute horrifying mess. So that said, you can kind of watch the video and then decide for yourself if this is something that you feel you want to involve yourself in. Luckily, the mirrors on the side are indeed rubbery, so that if you have to push on them or pull on them, they'll usually stand up to a little bit of beating up. And you can kind of see that the side panel here is a little bit out of whack. It's supposed to be pushed in more. But that's, again, just kind of all part of the deal. So my intention here is to do the review as normal and make a separate video, hopefully showing how to transform this guy mostly successfully into vehicle mode. So if you guys are interested, just check out my channel for that. And that should be, coming soon. So anyway, you do get the vehicle mode. You do have some 5mm connecting ports here, which is pretty cool. You can add whatever kind of weapons you like, but he does come with his cannons. And they have little pop-out 5mm pegs, so you can, of course, plug these into the sides of the vehicle mode and have them rolling down the road like that, fully armored up and whatnot. Now they do pop out to the side, and I'm not really sure what the point is for that, but they do that. And the panel, of course, pops off as well, because, you know, why not? Why not? So yeah, it only pops out that far, so I'm not really sure what kind of craziness you're getting, but it does spin. That's pretty cool. It looks like they could combine together. You do get this little bit on the bottom here, so it looks like they could combine together, but alas, they do not. You know, like the original Voyager toy. But you can rotate the barrel, so I guess that's cool. It would have been nice maybe to have a little bit of neon orange or something paint in there to kind of look like it's firing, but that's not a big deal. So anyway, we're going to put these guys off to the side, and we're going to start transforming Ironhide here. So the best way to start, I've found, is first we're going to pop out the bumper. We're just going to pop that down just like that. Then we're just going to come over to the side, lift these panels up, and just peg them like so, and like that. We can come back here, lift these panels up, and these are going to rotate over and forward. And you can kind of see inside all this stuff that's going on. And I'm not sure where the problem is for these, because it looks like the side panels are you know, folded in correctly, and everything underneath is tabbed in. You can see the arms are tabbed in correctly, the wheels are tabbed in correctly. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on there, but anyway, it is what it is. So what we're going to do here is bring the wheels out like this. Just going to pop those, and they are on springy dings, and they're fine just the way they are. So next up, we're going to come down here and grab the kind of chest armor. We're just going to pop that open, and that's going to kind of unlock all these other parts like the arms. So we're going to pop the windshield pieces out, just wiggle those back a little bit, and then unpeg the robot arms from the sides here, and come over to the front of the vehicle, and we're just gonna wiggle these parts out to the side like so. Lift this panel up, and now we've just got this little mess of bits here, and you can kind of see that these truck bits are on these little accordion hinges. They can go in for truck mode and out for robot mode, or just out to give a little more articulation. And once we have these truck bits out, we want to go ahead and pull this panel. It might be a little difficult to get your fingers around, so just pull this panel out, flip it around to reveal the GMC logo for that little, just tiny little bit of detail that, you know, it's appreciated that they added that in. All right, go ahead and raise the camera up a little bit here. So now we've got kind of this mess going on. So we're going to bring these panels down in a moment. Bring the head up a little bit. Bring these bits down. Clear the sides of the head and all that stuff. And you can see we've got this little tab right here. There is a slot. It's a little hard to see. A little slot right there. And a little slot right there and a tab right there. And we're just going to plug these in there, and they're just little friction tabs, and unfortunately this side does not stay in no matter what. It just wants to pop out as soon as I start moving stuff around, which is annoying. It does not lock into place, and I'm not sure what the problem is there. There might be, it looks like there may even be a little bit of excess plastic, so maybe I can just pop that out and maybe it'll start to be a little nicer to me, but I'll do that off camera on my own time and see how it works out. Alright, so next up, got these around here. We're going to take the bumper. We are going to peg it together at the center, and we're going to bring this whole section down and in to the back of the chest cavity, and that's going to kind of hold his head up here. And then you can see the bumper here is actually going to be replicated by this kind of fake bumper here, but I think it works pretty well. And what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and rotate these in. Rotate these in so that the you kind of want it sorta-ish there, and then bring this up. And then the curvature of this piece is going to help you kind of guide where the truck front halves are going to go. And it may or may not stay, but you want to just hold it in place and then click this until you hear it clicking into place. And I know that's a little bit not not that descriptive, but that kind of gives you a general idea. And then you would just want to go ahead and lift these panels, get the little fakey brakes out. Do the same on the other side. Lift this little fakey brake and then press that down, and then just keep wiggling this back into place, because they do just pop out of alignment without any provocation. And then again, this is already popped out of its little home, so you know you got that going on. And it's just really fiddly is kind of the main problem here. And you can even see that this wheel is in a lot further than this one, even though I've done nothing different. It just wants to be weird on this side for some reason. So yeah, I mean, we can kind of jam it up there and see how this all works out. So that looks, nope, that doesn't look any better. So it's really a matter of finding a tolerance that you are cool with, because it's just, yeah, it's a little strange. Alright, now for the arms, we're just going to go ahead and bring these arms down, flip the hands out. We're going to bring these panels up and then up again, and then these are just going to come back here and rest against the back of the arm. And this is just going to rotate back and sit there. And it's weird because there's this little like tab on the back of the arm here that really looks like it's meant to tab in to this little slot area, but it just does not, it doesn't really fit. And it's weird because it looks like it's supposed to go in there, but it really just doesn't fit. So I don't know if it's just a tolerance issue that it's supposed to go in there, that it's supposed to fit, and it just on my figure doesn't, or if it just doesn't in general, if it's a, you know, a problem in the, you know, manufacturing or what. But it's just a little weird. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Just bring this down, and the reason I'm not rotating this around is because there's actually a tab on the inside back of the arm, so you can kind of tell because the screws are here. There's a tab here that has to go in here somewhere to turn it back into a vehicle, and it's just, you know, it's just easier to leave that tab right where it is so you don't lose track of it and forget that you have to do something with it. And then we're just going to bring this back up, and then bring this back up, and rotate this around. And try once more in absolute anger and vain to peg that in, and it's just not going to happen. And I keep wanting it to because I keep thinking it really should, but it's just not going to happen. Anyway, so that is that. And then we're going to come onto the back here. We're going to untab the rear of the truck, and we're going to bring it around like so. Swing it up and over, and we're going to fold these bits in, and then this black piece is going to tab in here if I do it correctly, which, you know, that is really up for debate, isn't it? There we go. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look. So that locks basically the whole body into place. And then we are ready to do the legs. Of course, now the whole chest has come undone. Oh, Ironhide. Oh, I want to like you so much. I really do. I really do. Alright. So, moving on to the legs. The legs are very simple, thankfully so. We're just going to split the legs here. We're going to untab the wheels. Untab the wheels. They're tabbed into the sides of the leg here. We're going to lift these die-cast panels. Lift. This one's going to fall back down again, but it doesn't matter. And we're going to go ahead and pull this section out because it is on a little pivot bar thing. So just going to pull this out. Might be helpful to raise these bits first. So just pull this out. There we go. Now it's good. Now it's good. And we're going to go ahead and raise this wheel up like so. Swing this piece around, and that's going to just lock against the front here. We're going to go ahead and bring this section around. Bring this foot down. Rotate this. Tab it together. And then bring this die-cast panel out to become the toes, or the I don't know exactly what you call it, some sort of support for the feet. We're going to peg this panel in. There's a peg that I just plugged in. So you can see this little peg hole right here. There's a peg just on the other side. So you're going to peg that in just like so. Bring this around. Split it and bring it around to the side. And then tab it in the back. And then this die-cast piece will just sit on top of that as the shin. And that is one leg done. And you're just going to do the exact same on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and flip this bit down, separate the foot, bring out the this bit here, bring this up, tab it into place, swing this panel around. Bring it in, tab it together, hold this up because it wants to fall, tab it, then bring it all down, and there you have Ironhide in robot mode, ready to fire his cannons, I guess. Alright guys, so Ironhide in robot mode is actually really nice. He's got some decent articulation, some weird articulation too, but overall, pretty good. He does have a waist swivel, which is nice. He actually has an ab crunch, which is also pretty cool. And yeah. He's got sorta kinda outward motion in his legs. It is really hindered by all the armor pieces on his legs, but that's okay. I mean, he's not really meant to do that much side kicking, I don't believe. He can go forward about yay far. He can go back about yay far. He does have a hindered knee, but he does have a knee going on there. He's got a pretty decent foot bend, and you can even get some toe bending out of that as well due to that transformation joint. He's got a bit of an ankle tilt, not a huge one, but it works. He's got head articulation, which we'll go into real quick here. So he's got the side to side, he's got the up, he's got the down, he's got that mouth that opens. Let's see if he can get it really high. And he's also got, so like, what's up with this? And once I opened this up, I looked at actual like photos from the movie, and this is accurate. It's an accurate design. why does his face look melted? Like, what is up with this weird head crest? It looks stupid. Why? It's all weird shapes. I don't know. That's just me. I'm just nitpicking. Anyway, so that's his head articulation. So the arms. The arms are weird. They can go back. They can go up. They can go out to the side. He does have an elbow joint. Nice ratchets in there. Out, of course, he's got a swivel, bicep swivel. But he also does have a like a bicep hinge. So he can also do this. So he can bring his arms forward like that. He can like get real twisty curls going on here. It's just strange that they have that. I don't know if that's meant for transformation help or what, but it is kind of a strange addition there. And he has, of course, the hand articulation that they mentioned on the package. So he can rotate at the wrist. He can go in and out with those hands. Also, let me adjust the camera angle because it's probably giving everyone vertigo. He does have articulated fingers. The joints are really stiff, and I'm a little bit afraid to like force them. But he does have a thumb with two joints in it, and the hands, the fingers also have two joints, but the last three fingers on the hand are one solid unit, so he can point and all that fun stuff and make a fist, but he ain't flipping anybody off, you know. So yeah, decent articulation in the hands. He's also got his cannons that he loves so much. Oh gosh, I really just wish these would kind of like, even if not lock into place, but like soft lock into place. I think that's kind of the big issue here, is that they just kind of float around, and just the weight of them tends to make them want to sag, which is a problem. The shoulders, I mean, I'm talking about, of course. Alright, so let's take a look at his cannons. He's got his cannons that we looked at for his vehicle mode, and they just plug in over here. And he can show off his cannons. There's my cannons. So yeah, I mean, overall, I do like this guy. I'll do some size comparisons while I'm kind of going over this. I think he can look really, really good on display. The high gloss black finish is really, really nice. The head sculpt is really, really nice. The overall proportions of the body, I think, are actually quite good as well. He just looks cool when you've got him just posed, not really doing anything. He looks really cool, and let's show him off a bit with Mr. Optimus Prime here. And then, of course, Burnblebur right over there. So you can see he looks nice. He looks nice with the rest of his crew. I really love the finish on his paint, all that good stuff. Really nicely done. But this dude desperately needed a few extra quality control passes for tolerances and other things like that, because he kind of feels like he was rushed out the door a little bit, and I think he was even delayed, so I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, I want to recommend him, but he's so dang expensive, and it's almost worth it because you can obviously see, like, Prime is taller. This dude is way bulkier than both Prime and Bumblebee. He is real bulky. He's got some thickness going on. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just a little too much, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, so the problem is he's just not worth the asking price, but he's so close. Like, if they had just done a little bit more quality control, if they had just polished a little bit here and there, worked on those tolerances, worked on more pegs or, you know, tabs or something to just make it a little more clear as to where everything is meant to go, and then have it lock in place once it gets there, it'd be a much better offering in my opinion. But right now, this dude is retailing for about, I'm gonna say, at least in the US, around 150 shipped for most places, and it's just not, the juice is not worth that squeeze, man. It's just a little too much for me, but I do like him. I just can't quite look past all of the heartache of trying to get this dude from one mode to another. But once you got him in robot mode, he's actually really nice. And if he stays there without any trouble, he's a good display piece. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. It's a hard ask. So you guys will have to make up your own minds, but that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you so very much for watching, as always. Again, I'm going to try and make that video about how to get him back into vehicle mode for those of you that may have this guy and are just struggling with it. Or if you're just curious and want to see where the problems lie. But like I said, that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.